remember my imaginary friends?
I can't remember if you're imaginary friends or the voices in your fucking head.
What's the difference? Do you remember what you would yell to me when I was off in my own world?
Earth to Gert.
Where are you, Gert? Earth to Gert! Gert! Earth to Gert! So I'm starting a podcast, and that's the title.
Earth to Gert?
Yeah. All right, so welcome back to another episode of Earth to Gert. In this episode, I was originally going to share more about my journey with anxiety, but I think the most important part of my story is in the healing, so that's where I'm going to start. First and foremost, healing for me and staying healthy means that I have to do the fucking work. I have to do the work every day, every week, and every month. And let me tell you, doing the work fucking sucks at first. It's not easy. It's not easy to heal old wounds, to talk about and write about the shit that hurt me, the stuff that makes me insecure, the stuff that embarrassed me, and the stuff that I was and am afraid of. It's not easy sitting with the pain and discomfort that life can bring sometimes. And it certainly isn't easy healing those old coping strategies, those good old addictions. And I'm not just talking about the addictions to substances. Healing any chronic illness will require you to heal those addictions. But I'm talking about my addiction to the other shit in this world, to the garbage that we call food in this country, the addiction to my phone, the mindless scrolling and those stupid games, my addiction to relationships, and literally to anything I was doing to consciously or unconsciously numb something, to numb that suicidal mind and the fear I felt, to numb any and all emotions, because God forbid a Collier feel their emotions. But doing the work isn't just all of that stuff for me. It's not just healing the traumas and the memories that wired my brain the way that they did. Doing the work for me is more about discipline. It's the discipline to move my body, whether I want to or not. Most days I don't. It's the discipline to prioritize nutrition over convenience. It's the discipline to prioritize my nervous system over the needs of others. That's a pretty big one for this codependent soul. Doing the work for me is the discipline just to keep my brain healthy, because keeping my brain healthy has proven it also keeps my mind and my body healthy. And for me, doing the work involves routine and balance. And it only sometimes feels like work now. Like, on Tuesdays after counseling. But the work, even getting my emotional ass kicked in counseling, it's just my way of life. And when I deviate from my routines or when things in my life are out of balance, that's when the shit flares up for me. That's when my brain becomes a huge dick, and that's usually the only time that I get sick. So what does my work look like? What do my routines look like? Well, I have boundaries in place for myself and some non-negotiable tools and habits that I use every day. First, there's no phones before my morning walk with my dog. I actually have a lot of boundaries in place for myself with regards to my phone. Almost no notifications from social media, no news apps or news on my social media, and especially that no phone before my walk rule. At the height of my anxiety in 2016, I was that typical cell phone user with an app for everything, for news, for sports, for all of the social medias, and they all notified me about something almost every minute of every day. That fucked with my brain, it fucked with my mood and happiness, and it really, really fucks with my anxiety. I started making these changes with my phone after my counselor asked one day, so before your feet even hit the ground, you've already exposed yourself to the catastrophic events of the world, or, something to that effect, she said. So the first thing I do every morning, rain or shine, almost every day out of the year, is go for a walk. Nothing strenuous or fast paced, just a nice leisurely walk so that my dog can take a dump. Yeah, the impact this little habit has had on my mood and my energy has been, I don't know, absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for my little burn bag for making me start this one. And with this guy, there's no hitting snooze, so you just have to get up and do it. And the other and probably most important tool I use is nutrition. Holy shit, the difference in my brain after I stopped poisoning myself. Absolutely life-changing. Eating real food, like real actual food that comes directly from this earth, is medicine. Like legit and actual medicine. I dare you to try it. So, starting my day with real protein that comes from the earth and not from some package that needs to be opened is very important to me. Mine currently coming right from the fort. Thanks, barbers, for being my egg dealers. Additionally, making sure that I'm eating real food that doesn't cause destructive insulin spikes has improved my health in ways that I didn't even guess were possible. I think it was that first Collier weekend during the pandemic. My sister-in-law and I were having our typical yearly conversation about what allergy meds were working and what weren't working. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't needed anything yet this year. I haven't even thought about it. And then fast forward a year and I'm at this nutrition school learning about how healing the gut heals your allergies. And I was like, dude, that's what happened to me. So it's pretty cool. And I don't know if you know this, but all of our systems, our nervous systems, our immune systems, they all start in our gut. And our gut is filled with a gazillion microscopic bugs. And when they're unhappy and unhealthy, well, guess what? So aren't you? So healing my gut has been an absolute game changer, not just for my mental health, but just for my overall health in general. And when I fall off my routines and I start eating like shit, my brain and body absolutely feel it. So I've mentioned moving my body and eating clean. And I would say that the next most important thing in my daily life is sleep. Healing requires sleep. It requires rest. It requires our nervous system to get into that rest and digest state, and we can only do that through sleep. So that's very important. Some other habits for me that are just as important, drinking water. Most of us suck at that one. Journaling is a big one for me, whether that's getting all of the shit out that's been playing on replay in my brain or just a simple practice of listing 3 things that I'm grateful for. I also have meditation and breathing exercises intertwined throughout my day. These are probably the most influential tools in making sure that my body can go in and out of fight or flight and not just live there permanently. And lastly, I need to do something every day for my brain that doesn't involve staring at a screen. So for me, that's either reading a book or coloring or maybe doing a puzzle, something like that. And then some other habits and tools that are more of a weekly or monthly thing, but I would say just as important are strength training and yoga, spending time outside and in nature. That's where my hikes and disc golfs and my trips to my sister's garden come in. Counseling for me is something I continue to do at least twice a month, maybe sometimes a little bit more when I'm doing scary things like starting a podcast. But counseling for me is something that I'll probably continue to do, whether I'm happy, sad, or mad. For me, it's the tool that keeps all of the other tools in place. You know, instead of hiring a personal trainer for my body, I hired a personal trainer for my brain and mind. And I don't know, same results if you ask me. I just personally would rather sit in a chair and cry than do fucking burpees. And I also know that I need to spend time alone just as much as I need high quality connections in my life. One of the greatest gifts 2020 brought me was the knowledge that I need, like capital letters, need to be alone. I need to have time alone. And it also taught me about my need for real, authentic human connection, not just likes and comments on social media, real, authentic conversation. The quality of our relationships has so much to do with our health. So for me, there isn't one tool or habit that works better than the other, except for maybe nutrition. The magic for me is feeling and being in balance with it all. To feel balanced in my home to work life, feeling balanced and at peace in the stress of life is where I have found my happiest and healthiest self. I am certainly not saying that my life is stress-free. I am currently raising 2 teenagers after all, but health and happiness for me comes when I'm not hijacked by it, when I don't feel like I'm drowning in the chaos that my life can be. And being healthy to me means that I'm not losing my mind over whatever is or isn't happening in the world of politics. I'm not constantly angry and irritated at something or crying at anything and everything. And that I'm not constantly going down stupid rabbit holes in my mind, replaying old conversations or playing out every possible conversation that I might have in the future. Healthy to me is feeling free from that noise, free from the what ifs, free from the hesitation to do almost anything in my life because I've been paralyzed by fear. My brain finally feels free. That is why I do the work. That is why it's easy for me to stay disciplined. This feeling is so much cooler than being an anxious fuck. So much cooler. So, my friends and family, my health advice for the week is to just do the fucking work. Whatever your work is, like I said before, what works for me, what tools work for me, what habits work for me, they might not work for you, but each of us has our own work to do. Healing, after all, requires us to take responsibility for the role we play in our own suffering. So, what role are you playing in your own suffering? If you are feeling stuck and you don't know where to start, please give me a call. If you have a story that you'd like to share, either recorded for a podcast episode or if you just want to talk, please reach out. In upcoming weeks, I'm going to take a deeper dive into some of these tools and habits, and next week we'll be taking that deeper dive into my anxiety. So thank you all. Seriously, thank you all so much for listening. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took something away from it. If not, tell me to shut the fuck up. Turn it off. Whatever. I don't care. If it did resonate with you and you did enjoy it, please share it and like or do all of that stupid shit I'm supposed to say.